Which is better, Google Pixel 8a or Google Pixel 8 Pro? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my comparison of the Google Pixel 8a versus the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now, I am part of Team Pixel, and both of these phones are gifts from Google, so I just want to make that clear. And I've been a big fan of Pixel devices for a long time, and for a very good reason. I love that these phones are created by Google, and they're also some of the first devices to get the newest versions of Android when they are released. So that in itself is a really big selling point. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro was launched in October of 2023, and then the Pixel 8a was launched very recently in May of 2024. And one of the really cool things too about the Pixel 8a is that this device carries over quite a few awesome features from the 8 Pro while also being way more affordable. Now, the Pixel 8a has an MSRP of just $499 compared to an MSRP of $999 for the Pixel 8 Pro, so basically half the price. Now, despite that though, this phone carries over the Google Tensor G3 processor from the 8 Pro, for example, so both of these phones have the same exact processor. And then also with the Pixel 8a, this phone has Circle to Search. So that was one of the newest AI features that came out with the Pixel 8 Pro, so it's really cool that feature is present here on the Pixel 8a. So those are just two examples of many, how the Pixel 8a is really delivering a lot of value here, despite it technically being a mid-range device. But let's now get into the various differences for these two phones, and the first one definitely has to be the displays. Now with the Pixel 8a, we have a very large 6.1-inch display, but we have an even bigger 6.7-inch display with the Pixel 8 Pro. And you can see when holding the two phones side by side here, without a doubt, the Pixel 8 Pro is the larger phone of the two. Now, it really comes down to personal opinion on if a bigger or smaller display is better or worse. I know definitely for content consumption, whether you're watching video content or going on social media or just browsing the web, having a really large canvas like what we're getting here with the Pixel 8 Pro certainly can really come in handy. On the other hand, I really like the pocketability and smaller size of the Pixel 8a. So I think both definitely have their benefits. Now, these two devices do have different types of glass on the outside. So with the Pixel 8a, we do have Corning Gorilla Glass 3, compared to Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 with the Pixel 8 Pro. So we are getting a higher quality, more durable glass here on the outside of the Pixel 8 Pro. That being said though, it's not like Gorilla Glass 3 is weak by any means, which is what we're getting here with the 8a. Now also, the display technology we're getting here with these two devices is also different. So with the Pixel 8a, we have an OLED display compared to an LTPO AMOLED display with the Pixel 8 Pro. So in general, the Pixel 8 Pro does get brighter, we are getting slightly better colors here, but in many ways, both of these phones have excellent looking display panels. And then also, both phones do feature a 120Hz refresh rate. So we're getting a super smooth refresh rate here with both phones. That's definitely a very premium feature, and certainly something that is nice to see here with the Pixel 8a. 120Hz is definitely a feature that every flagship phone has, or at least should have, but not every mid-range device has that. Also, another difference is the actual display resolution. So we're getting a 1080p display with the Pixel 8a compared to a 1344 by 2992 display with the Pixel 8 Pro. Also, with the Pixel 8a, we're getting a PPI of 430 compared to a PPI of 489 with the Pro. And then both phones do have 20:9 aspect ratios. But then when it comes to the screen-to-body ratios, we're getting an 81.6% screen-to-body ratio with the 8a. And then the 8 Pro has an 87.4% screen-to-body ratio. So we do have smaller bezels here with the Pro compared to the A, but you can see here both phones still have very small bezels relative to other smartphones out there. So I think both have a really nice design, and in many ways, these phones actually look pretty similar as well. Now, both of these devices do have hole punches for the front-facing cameras up top here, and then with the 8a, we have a 13 megapixel front-facing camera compared to a 10.5 megapixel front-facing camera with the 8 Pro. And then both of these phones do not have microSD card expansion, and they also both happen to have the same base model storage configuration. So both of these devices do have 128 gigabytes of storage. Now, that really brings into question why the Pixel 8 Pro didn't come with at least 256 as the minimum, considering that the 8a is half the price and also comes with 128 gigs. So I'm not really sure why that is. I'll be honest, I do prefer typically to have more than 128 gigs on my smartphone. It's not 2015 anymore. We're in 2024 and apps are really getting large. And using a phone that has Pro in the name, yet we're only getting 128 gigabytes, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now, that might not be a deal breaker if you're not even using that amount of storage on your current phone. So that's usually the best indication on knowing whether or not a certain amount of storage is enough or not enough for you. So I guess I'm kind of curious to know, are you using close to 128 gigs already on your current device, or are you using far below that? Because if that's the case, then I suppose it's not a big deal here. But definitely if you're going to go through all the time and effort of getting a brand new smartphone, and especially buying a flagship, I'm sure you're going to want a lot more storage than your current device. Now, both of these phones do have wireless charging, which is awesome. However, they do recharge at different rates. So the Pixel 8a is compatible with up to 7.5 watts wireless charging, whereas the Pixel 8 Pro is compatible at up to 23 watts fast charging. So this device can definitely wirelessly charge a lot faster compared to the 8a, but of course keep in mind that you are going to have to use a wireless charger that is actually compatible with those charging speeds. Now both of these phones do have Face Unlock, which is awesome, and they both have in-display fingerprint sensors. So let's first give that a try here with the Pixel 8a. So very fast there. We'll try that one more time. So very reliable, and then we'll try it here with the Pixel 8 Pro. That also works great. We'll try that again. There we go. Now something worth considering too is that both of these phones do have their fingerprint sensors at different heights. So the fingerprint sensor is a bit taller, or a bit higher up here with the 8a compared to the 8 Pro. So it's not like a big difference, nor is it really much of an inconvenience, but just know that it's not exactly the same here. Now taking a look at the cameras on these two devices, there are some similarities and some differences. So both devices have main cameras, of course, and then the ultra-wide cameras, but with the Pixel 8 Pro, we are gaining a 5x telephoto camera, which is also 48 megapixels. Then when it comes to the main cameras on both devices, we're getting a 64 megapixel main camera on the 8a, and then the 8 Pro has a 50 megapixel main camera. And then with the 8a, we're getting a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera compared to a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with the 8 Pro. Now here's how things look on the camera apps on both devices. This is with the main rear camera right now. Then from here, we can switch over to the ultra wide angle cameras on both phones. Oops, there we go. And as you can see with that, we can fit a lot more content into a single frame. And then the added benefit too with the 8 Pro, as I mentioned, is that we are getting that telephoto camera. So you can tap on 5 down here, and then it will zoom in with that camera. So that's a full 5x optical zoom, so it's not just cropping in like phones do with digital zoom, like you can technically do here with the 8a, but that's a digital zoom, so it's just cropping in, and it's not actually using a different lens to zoom in. And then with both phones, we also have portrait mode, of course, and then we can take portrait selfies as well. There's me right there. So I do appreciate that even though the 8a is supposed to be a more budget-friendly alternative to the 8 Pro, we still are getting a lot of different cameras here with the device, and it is very capable overall. If anything, this is almost like the appetizer, and if you like this, then you'll definitely know that it's worth spending more money on the 8 Pro. Now, video recording is almost the same with these two phones. Both support 4K for both the front and rear cameras, and then for the 8 Pro here, you can take video in 4K at 60 FPS with both cameras on the front and back, whereas with the 8a, we do get 60 FPS at the rear, but 30 FPS at the front. And then both phones do have different size batteries. So with the 8a, we're getting a 4,492 milliamp hour internal battery compared to a larger 5,050 milliamp hour internal battery with the Pixel 8 Pro. And then with the 8a, it can charge it up to 18 watts. And then we are getting up to 30 watt fast charging with the 8 Pro. And that fast charging does make a big difference, that's for sure. Keep in mind though that the charger you're using does have to be actually compatible with those charging speeds. And then both phones do come with Android 14 out of the box, which is excellent. Android 14 actually launched with the Pixel 8 Pro, and again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, one of the benefits with Pixel devices is that they are the first to get new versions of Android. And then both phones do have NFC, so they do support tap and pay, which is great. And then another added feature here with the Pixel 8 Pro is that we are actually getting a thermometer on the back of the phone. I can't say that's necessarily that useful of a feature, and I have noticed in the tech community, people in general don't seem to be using the thermometer a whole lot, but there's really no downside with having the feature either. And then taking a closer look at the hardware of these two devices, we do have plastic on the back of the 8a compared to glass on the back of the 8 Pro. And then on the left side of both phones, we have just the slot for the SIM card. By the way, both phones do have metal on the sides. It is a matte finish on the 8A versus a glossy finish on the 8 Pro. I do prefer the matte finish all around. And then on the right side of the two devices, we have the power button, volume up and volume down. Then up top here, both phones have the noise canceling microphone. And then on the bottom of the two phones, we have the speaker, USB-C port for charging and data transfer, and the microphone. And then on the back of the two devices, we have almost the same exact layout here, except with the 8 Pro, we are gaining that additional camera. We're also getting the thermometer. And then the camera bar in the back of the phone is a glossy finish versus a matte finish like it is here with the 8A. But I hope you enjoyed this comparison video between the Pixel 8A and Google Pixel 8 Pro. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.